Something interesting came up on the latest episode of the 32 Thoughts podcast, and it caught my attention right away. Elliotte Friedman raised the possibility that Nick Suzuki could be the odd man out when Brad Marchand returns to the lineup in the upcoming quarterfinals. It makes things interesting. It's confirmed that Marchand will be returning, and tomorrow, likely there's going to be a practice, so this is kind of timely. Let's talk about it.
He sends it in, just missed hitting the chicken.
Now things are going to get interesting. Tomorrow, there are 4 games in which the remaining teams will complete their qualifiers, find their seed. After that, we start eliminating teams. This is a fun, exciting tournament, but it's short, which makes choices difficult to make, but you have to make them. You have to make difficult, quick, reactionary choices. So Friedman's point wasn't outrageous or unfair.
You know, the one guy who has not yet hit the level I thought and expected from him, Kyle, has been Nick Suzuki. And I actually wonder if when Marchand, and I'm not surprised they're doing this with Marchand. I think he's been really beaten up all year. I'm wondering if when Marchand shows up for the quarterfinal, if Suzuki is the guy who gets scratched, because he's been battling to find his way here. And, it's just, I was looking who's going to go out if Marchand comes in. And because Marchand has been a winger with MacKinnon, including earlier in this tournament, I'm wondering if that could make Suzuki vulnerable.
He basically said that Suzuki hasn't quite reached the level he expected from him in this tournament. And when you add a player like Marchand, who has played with guys like Nathan MacKinnon, created some chemistry there. So Cooper isn't just inserting any player, he's inserting a player that he trusts over the current players that are playing in the lineup. So who is going to be the odd man out? Before we get into my thoughts, hey, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? We are, I think, less than 100 subscribers away from hitting 22,000 subscribers. I never thought we would come this far. When I started, I think that we had something like 3,000 subscribers when I started doing hockey content. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for the kind words when I admitted that I was pulling down the Olympic content where I showed gameplay footage. There's just too many of you that came out to give your support, and I couldn't get to all of you, but thank you. Thank you so much for saying those kind words. If you're already a subscriber, you can still help me out, hit that like button or comment down below. Tell me what your favorite movie franchise is. That's a good one. So like I said, roster spots are tight. Somebody's going to need to come out. Who's it going to be? Well, if you ask me, Canada so far has been really good. Not perfect. Before I give my take on Suzuki specifically, I want to zoom out for a second. Team Canada has been successful. They've won their games. They've controlled the play for long stretches of time. There's a lot to like about what we're seeing, but I don't think they've hit their ceiling yet. There's some kinks to work out. There's moments where they don't all look completely comfortable. Some combinations look good, but not great. Dangerous, but not dominant. And I think that's normal in a tournament. Chemistry takes time, even with the best players, maybe more so with the best players. One thing that strikes me is that MacKinnon doesn't look fully activated when he's playing with Suzuki and Hagel. When he's playing with McDavid and Celebrini, dang, it's mind-blowing. For me, and I definitely have my biases, but I think those are the 3 best players in the NHL currently. You might be able to throw like a goaltender in there. You might be able to create an argument with Makar, but if we're talking about forwards in the NHL, Celebrini, McDavid, and MacKinnon, for me, are the best 3 forwards. To have them all on one line, that is a weapon. And with MacKinnon specifically, when he's activated, you know it. The pace changes, the entire sheet tilts. Defenders start getting confused. They start making mistakes. And we've seen flashes of that, not consistently as you might expect from one of the most explosive players in the world. And then there's the power play. It's been okay. It's been productive on paper, 33%. And somehow 33% feels extremely low for this team. Also, considering the opponents that they've faced so far, right? So the power play being pretty good seems like it's underwhelming. This brings us back to Suzuki. He is excellent on the power play. Guess who is third in the league in power play points? Yeah, Suzuki, behind Draisaitl and McDavid. So for me personally, he can't be the odd man out. If anything, right, it's Seth Jarvis. He's the one that is most vulnerable in this system. And I think part of that is because there's still discomfort in different places in this lineup, but specifically on Horvat's line. I'm not even convinced that Sam Reinhart is a natural fit with Bo Horvat. And I don't think I really like Brandon Hagel with MacKinnon either. So there's that. Although, you know, Hagel's never going to be the one who sits, not with John Cooper heading the team. And let me just say, that doesn't mean that those lines are bad. It just feels like they're not fully optimized. And in a tournament like this, coaches are always looking for that last bit that they can squeeze out of their players, that last 10%. So I would like to see a little bit more experimentation. The tough reality is that Suzuki at center, it's stacked at center. Horvat, I feel, has established himself. Crosby clearly wants to play center. He's been excellent, but I do wonder what he would look like on the wing in a tournament like this. But realistically, I don't think that that's happening. That has the same probability of happening as Hagel being scratched. But if you put MacKinnon up on that top line and just concede to having this incredible weapon that's almost a cheat code, that opens one spot for center. I'll be honest, I pictured things differently when the roster was announced, and I'm stubborn. I thought I had some pretty good ideas, and I still don't really like what we have seen so far. But I did predict that at some point we would see Celebrini, McDavid, and MacKinnon. But if MacKinnon does move up to the top line, I could see Suzuki centering a line like Hagel and someone else like Reinhart or Stone. That line would have clear identity, defensive responsibility, smart, offensively structured. Suzuki could use Hagel kind of like a Cole Caulfield analog. Someone who finds the puck and finishes quickly or has good hands and can put it in front. And then Stone or Reinhart could be the board work guys, puck retrieval and those stolen pucks that both are so good at. Meanwhile, someone like Tom Wilson could be sliding into Horvat's line, and that suddenly gives you a clearer identity on that line as well. Heavy, direct, difficult to play against, and maybe a good spot for Marchand to land as well. Someone who is annoying to play with, a pest, and somebody who can get away from those defensively reliable forwards to find a puck on a stretch pass. I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good idea. Top to bottom, it feels more structured. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, but to close things up, I understand what Friedman is after. You know, Suzuki hasn't dominated yet. He's gotten a goal, but it wasn't even on his line. And with Marchand coming in, they've said that he's coming in, so he's coming in. There's going to be a tough decision to make, maybe several tough decisions. But if you ask me, Nick Suzuki is not the odd man out. And if he is, I'm going to be surprised and very disappointed. I think the entire lineup is still changing and evolving, and moving Nick Suzuki out of it would be a big mistake. With practice tomorrow, we'll read some clues, and I think there will be some excitement around what we see. Maybe we'll continue that conversation then. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with search results, I think probably. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.